If you're looking for Magic cards, look no further than Flipside Gaming. They have all the latest Magic singles and product that you need to actually leave the house and battle in Magic the Gathering. And right now, if you would like to save 10% on your orders from Flipside Gaming, use the promo code CGB at checkout. That is promo code CGB. Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, coming at you head on once again. Thank you for your feedback. And what's up today? We're doing 7-win Dimir, but before I get into it, a few words about the channel and what to expect. First of all, we've got the color challenge going. I want to get it done before Ravenous Allegiance comes out. So you're going to see a lot of color challenge videos. It's going to be a flood of color challenge videos, hopefully, but that leads into point number two. Point number two, New Year's resolution. I will record every day. I will record for you every single day. But if I don't like what is recorded, if I think it is trash, if it is not something I would enjoy watching, I am not going to upload it. This is about respect to your time, as well as just kind of the feeling that I can go to sleep with, knowing that I put up videos I can be proud of. So I don't expect to record videos that are bland or repetitive or redundant or just do the same stuff or are totally lame. And by kind of that standard, yes, I edit out a lot of games that I lose. I want to be really transparent about this. I will keep a loss in if I find it helpful, informative, exciting, any of those things. I've put in losses. I've edited in losses where I lost because I made a terrible misplay. I find that useful to you, probably, to see the misplay, and exciting to the viewer, because every now and then, yeah, you got to see very mortal over here makes mistakes, and yes, mistakes can cost you the game. That is a part of Magic. What I will not do is put out videos full of mana screw, videos where I'm salty because it's just horrible luck, but I can promise you they happen. I can promise you that I wake up several days and record multiple 0-3 and 1-3 takes. And I've just been seeing some of the comments lately that people feel like this is selling out, or that I'm not giving you authenticity. And the fact is that people say they want these things because everybody wants something they feel like they don't have. But most people see sausage get made and don't eat sausage anymore. Just a bad analogy. I always want to value your time above all else. If there's a video in the feed from me, I want you to know that I am excited to share it. And by that, there should be something in there, some exciting gameplay and some really fun deck design, and something that is of value to you. Because God, I know that so many people, I know it doesn't take much. I'm one of the players who came out of nowhere and just started recording my videos and putting them up on YouTube, and now people watch me. Anybody can do that. I want to make sure that you get gameplay to be excited about, videos that I'm proud of. So that's where I'm coming from with that. And on that note, ranked, we are definitely going to do a series on the best of one ranked ladder, where a lot of gameplay seems to have shifted to, especially competitive gameplay for arena and builds that I use there. I don't feel qualified at this time to make those videos. I'm not mythic yet. I'm diamond. I've been as high as Diamond 2. I think I'm in that ballpark right now. And considering how many people are getting mythic, I feel like I'm the only one busy around the holidays. I just haven't had the time to grind on Mythic the way that I want to. And I know that I can be. I know that it's a matter of getting in the games and putting in the work, and I just haven't been able to, between my online retail store, my YouTube channel, being sick, family stuff, holidays, etc. But I know that we'll get more into ranked and is best of one material. But the 7-win series and the color challenge has been very popular. I think I would be a bad apple for leaving it behind. As far as other shows, like the Pro Show, I'm waiting for a rotation for new decks. I know that people like that, where we discuss pro decks and best of 3. I'm waiting until the format, I think, shakes up a little, because there's not much to cover. The format at this point is reasonably solved. It's got multiple decks, but there aren't a lot of new decks to cover. And as far as things like the Young CGB free-to-play account, that will be as it can be, basically. Not a lot of time left over for that, trying to complete the color challenge. All right, that was a nice little monologue. Thank you for that, for some minutes of your time. I hope it tells you what to expect on the channel. And now the deck. So 7-win Dimir. You've probably been staring at this deck list being like, what the hell is this the whole time I've been talking? Where is Sinister Sabotage? I know that's what you're thinking. I know that's what you're thinking. Sinister Sabotage is a great card for the fake news Dimir deck if the games are slow enough that a 3-mana counterspell does something. Unfortunately, at the time I was trying to get my 7 wins with Dimir, I found it very challenging. The white aggressive decks were just destroying my Dimir deck over and over and over. And eventually I shifted the mana base to be very heavy black, as there are only 4 cards here that require blue mana. And then I shifted into Golden Demise instead of Sinister Sabotage, and this deck found the 7 wins, basically by beating up those white decks. It also made room in the mana base for 2 Detection Towers to keep those Carnage Tyrants from smashing blue-black, which is another really tough bargain. And Ravenous Chupacabra is another nod to the aggressive decks, as you come down, make a body, kill a body, in a tap-out fashion instead of holding up mana to deal with things. So this is the deck that did the work, but it may not be everybody's cup of tea, and it's definitely prescribed to a certain meta. If you wanted a more, I guess, run-of-the-mill Dimir controlled deck, you would take out the Golden Demises, you'd probably take out the Chupacabras, you'd take out the Memorial to Follies, you'd probably take out the Detection Towers because the mana then would be really greedy. You put in Sinister Sabotage and a few probably Syncopates, maybe a Negate, and Essence Scatter, and you'd have the counter suite, and you'd be back to that kind of deck. You might also want some Moment of Craving so you don't only simply straight up lose to a Adanto Vanguard. But this is the deck that did it for me. It was really good for the anti-aggro meta, even without counter spells. You know I miss my counter spells. But that's the way it went down. Let's go out there, let's get some games, let's see if this deck can do it again. Not the opening hand we are looking for. This one has a Discovery to try to fix our mana and a Ritual of Soot to try to clean up the board if it gets out of control. Let's give it a try, but I'm going to bottom this Chupacabra. Another 4-drop isn't exactly what the doctor ordered here. 26 lands in the deck, 2 straight hands on 2 lands. Welcome to Magic. A red mana to open. Let's try to discover more land. We might be against a Jeskai control. It is possible. So do we keep... Do we keep a Vraska's Contempt from a hand like this? I think we can count on drawing 1 more land, so I will keep the Contempt. And it might be crucial, depending what we turn up against. That's red mana, that's blue mana, that's Discovery, that's usually Drakes. Usually Drakes. Vraska's Contempt is good against them. Ritual of Soot is decent against Enigma Drake. And Doom Whisperer is excellent. The more Doom Whisperers you can resolve and keep on the battlefield, the better. They usually only have a few ways to actually deal with them. So this is going to be a Doom party. Opt main phase might mean that they have mana issues like we do, and that is fine with me. Cast Down is excellent against them, but now we're in that top deck of land please spot, and we're not doing enough otherwise. No hand disruption, no card advantage, and here comes another Discovery. Are they the Arclight deck? That is another thing that has yet to be seen. The fact that they're not tossing a million cards in the bin seems to imply that perhaps they are not Arclight, but who knows. All right, Detection Tower, Doom Whisperer. Let's rock and roll. What can you do about this? 6/6 flying trample known as Flample, pay 2 life, surveil 2 cards. What am I most likely to draw now that Doom Whisperer is on the table? Well, I'd love some Thought Erasure. I'd love more Doom Whisperers. Here's a Lava Coil. Our opponent's going to try to gang up on the Doom Whisperer. Alright, let's see what we can see with our giant Doomy. A Disinformation Campaign is excellent, a Golden Demise is not. So resolve that, but I think that the play is another Doom Whisperer after this. Our opponent could be able to 2-for-1 it again, but I think we take that chance. Every Doom Whisperer eating up 2 spells will wear them out pretty fast. Here's Search for Azcanta. It's a good card, and it is on the verge of flipping already, which is a problem. And there is an Enigma Drake. I want to draw land. I want land on top of my deck. Okay, there is land on top of my deck. I don't know that I need to get to 7, though. But I want to be able to Ritual of Soot and hold up a cast down here. But Ritual of Soot is the best way to deal with this Enigma Drake right now, because it doesn't hit very many other cards. Although, let's think about this for a moment then. I could be playing Disinformation Campaign and casting down the Drake and waiting with Ritual of Soot until they have a dive down open. Right now, I can play around Spell Pierce and dive down with Ritual of Soot, but they would need to have another Enigma Drake and a dive down. I think that that's feasible. I don't think that's ridiculous. It does take away one more answer for an Enigma Drake. Or, not an Enigma Drake, a Crackling Drake. But I think we would have seen a Crackling Drake if our opponent had one ready to go. So, yep. Let's see if they would block. I think they would, but because of Trample, we have nothing to lose, and it might give us some information about if they want to try to race us. And they are willing to block. All right. I don't like the spot as much with Search for Azcanta flipping. That is a very frustrating card to take on. But as long as we can keep the board clear of Drakes, and of course Niv Mizzet, I'll be okay. And Doom Whisperer still goes over the top of all of those cards. Here's Crackles. And there's a card draw. Let's see what we see. Another cast down would be glorious to fight against a dive down. Oh, wow. Oh, my. Oh, my lord. Well, all the Doom Whisperers, that's the answer. Absolutely every single one of them. There is some risk to a dive down here, but I guess if that happens, we can Vraska's Contempt in response. So let's offer a trade. The opponent says no thank you to a trade this time. I see. Well, we'll play out another Doom Whisperer. So much doom. Now the opponent stares at a lethal board, so they need a way to kill, interact something to the Doom Whisperer, or to kill me. Which, not ridiculous. We are at 14 life thanks to those surveils. Here's an Enigma Drake. Alrighty. This is going to probably be the critical turn. If the opponent passes back from this position, the Ritual of Soot can possibly seal the deal. They would need an Ionize, something like that. These lists often don't play them. Also, we can take out, by the way, a dive down with the Detection Tower if such was needed. But let's go ahead and use a Ritual of Soot here, which gets around Spell Pierce and Dive Down, which are the common cards that we see in this spot. Never mind. Our opponent has decided to go to negate, and now with a pair of Drakes, that leaves us in a rough spot. I applaud adding a hard counter. I think we attack for lethal and force at least one trade. I think if we fail to do that, the opponent cracking back could force trades anyway. And here we go. We're going to be down to one more Doom Whisperer trying to get the job done. And we're going to leave our opponent on 4. And do they have a play? Is there yet another Drake to go? We've already seen 3. Yep, there is. We do have another Doom Whisperer. The opponent will find the Beacon Bolt. Oh no. Well, that's bad. That's really bad. So now how do we end the game? Eldest Reborn is a card that can have a huge impact from this spot. And Memorial to Folly is not bad either. Okay, well, there is one. I could keep another Golden Demise to make my first Golden Demise relevant, but I think that that's a really bad way to try to kill a Drake. So we'll do like this. Oh man, and now the Azcanta just gets to kind of crank through the deck and make sure that they're never out of spells. We'll have to use our Disinformation Campaign to fight a similar war. And make sure that we don't run out of spells. But this is not the way we wanted things to go. I'll just use the Discovery now. There isn't a lot of point to hanging on and hanging on to it. This side of it can be useful against some things, but I don't think we're up against that kind of deck. All right, all the Golden Demises showing up. But there's an Eldest Reborn, and we're going to need it. I wonder how many negates our opponent runs. How many can you afford to run in a deck like this? It seems like they've made it so reactive. All right, Crackles returns. Down to 2 life. Well, I think they know I can't reach out and burn them. All right, do you have another negate? We're playing around Spell Pierce by playing out the Eldest Reborn with 3 mana open. No, not this time. And the opponent does find another negate, but their tap out here means I can go for a Disinformation Campaign. I don't like that search and response because it does give away that I'm free to go for this and that there's no Spell Pierce. And there's another Contempt, which we probably needed now that there's a negate in hand. Plenty of Doom Whisperers, so Memorial to Folly can get one as soon as possible. Here's Niv. Oh no. Oh no! Well, let's see, did we bin that Chupacabra or bottom that Chupacabra? We bottomed it. Okay. Then it looks like the Niv solution has to be the Vraska's Contempts, which one will get negated, so our opponent will draw 1, 2, 3 cards. But then the Niv is exiled, which means we can't take their Niv, which would have been excellent. Let's hope they have a dive down though and try to use it. That would be something at least. And at least we get the negate out of their hand. Which, God, how many negates do they run? They just discarded Spell Pierce, by the way. All right, and again. And can they do it again? They usually run another Niv in the list like this. I should know, I did a video on this deck if it finds you if you're interested in it, though I would never have thought that to negate instead of dive down. Maybe it's not instead of dive down, maybe it's to negate, to Spell Pierce, to dive down, whatever it is. It came in really handy here, and I can't tell you how many times playing the deck I've wanted a card like that, a hard counter as they say. All right, a land goes to the graveyard, one card gets kept. What will it be? That Niv was a big swinging card advantage. We had to lose 2 cards. Our opponent drew 3 fresh cards. Can they find the cards they need to take over? So the next, I can get a Doom Whisperer or I can get a Beacon Bolt. I think I want Doom Whisperer because of Disinformation Campaign and the Trample. The Beacon Bolt's going to take it out no matter what, but I think that getting a Disinformation Campaign or 2 activation here is better than getting 1 card. All right, let's surveil. We do have to watch our life total a bit, but I really do want to get... I don't think another Memorial to Folly is what we need. What I really, really want is more Eldest Reborn. Still a little bit sniffles. Sorry for the nose and throat sounds. Here comes Azcanta. All right, opt. Yep, why not? And digging, digging. Digging, digging, and digging, digging, and digging, digging. They found us something. So another thing that's been missing in this game is Thought Erasure, and I feel like right now I need one, as our opponent's very likely to find another Niv Mizzet and get it to their hand after going through so many cards. So I want enough mana to use Memorial to Folly to get back another Doom Whisperer here. So what I'm going to do is, I have enough to do that. We're going to do one more round of Disinformation. A Chupacabra is really good. That is good when your opponent is at 2 and probably looking to a Niv Mizzet or Crackling Drake or something of that nature to pull the game off. Let's not tap out with you. Let's not tap out with you. And a dive down is gone. Wow, they do play dive down. Okay, this hand is not bad. That is what I'm taking away from what's going on here. They do not have a bad hand at all. But the fact that we got to hit a dive down with the Disinformation Campaign is nice. And I'm sure Beacon Bolt's the next step, and I hope they have to discard another good card to it. They discard a Chart a Course. Holy cow. So, I already know what I'm drawing. I could get back Disinformation Campaign one more time. Just have all the options. But I don't like going to 6. We're getting a bit low in the life total. So, is there a Drake? Is there a Niv? Is there something? I don't think that they'd play something unprotected here. Something's happening. What could it be? Enigma Drake returns. Okay. Ritual of Soot can get around that. But man, is that thing huge. Holy moly. 16 power. Memorial to Folly. Bring me back this Doom Whisperer. So the dive down is also not a very good card in the face of Detection Towers if I play it well. That's another good reason to discard it. Alright, we can play Doom Whisperer and Ritual of Soot, so let's do it. Ritual of Soot will probably only hit Enigma Drake in this deck, so it's the perfect card to line up for these. Opponents opting in response. Possibly, I mean, could there be more negates? How many negates can you run in a deck like this? I'm already amazed by 2. It just seems like you get run over by those critter decks. Alright, here's the Doom Whisperer. Coming back for more. What a slog these games are when Azcanta gets involved on their side. And of course, Campaign involved on our side. Both decks with engines running. You gotta have one of those if you're gonna play a longer game in Standard right now. Golgari has Find Finality. Memorial to Folly and Explore. This deck has Memorial to Folly and Surveil, Doom Whisperer, Disinformation Campaign. This deck has Chart a Courses and Azcantas, Niv Mizzet. They should know the order of their deck by now, too, from using the Azcanta. But they are digging the hell out of this deck, and they cannot kill all those Doom Whisperers. The fleet of Doom Whisperers carries the day. Alright, our opener has 2 lands with Discovery and Disinformation Campaign. Golden Demise, good against the aggro. Vraska's Contempt, good against other things, and Doom Whisperer as our finisher. So it's a greatly balanced hand as long as we can hit land. And with 26 in the deck, 24 left in the deck, shouldn't be asking too much. And yet, Magic gets you sometimes there. So come on, Discovery, show me 2 lands. Well, I'm gonna have to bin that Eldest Reborn because right now we need to draw all the lands we possibly can. Eldest Reborn is a really fine card too, but I would bin anything that wasn't land, to be totally honest. Even more sweepers. And our opponent's going in. This is why Golden Demise made the deck. This is exactly what I was talking about when I was introducing the deck. Starts like this, you got to have some recourse. You got to be able to come back. You gotta be able to hit them with the Demise. And sometimes you just get the scoop. Wait for it. Alright, our opponent's made of tougher stuff than that. They've got a history of Benalia to reload. They're fine. They'll be okay. There's land number 4. So, Chupacabra is a fine play as it can sort of trade hold with both knights. There's also Contempt and Cast Down. We could get the Disinformation Campaign going, which I like. It gives us better chances of hitting our land drops and making our Doom Whisperer play on time. Sometimes the opponents really hate this card and they hit it with a Conclave Tribunal, which would make things better for the Doom Whisperer, and we hit a Hunted Witness. So everything's fine. Everything's fine. Now next turn we do have to kill some stuff. I don't want to take 1,000,000 damage from Benalia. Healer's Hawk coming down. And there's one more card. What is it? A Loxodon? Oh, what did I say about that Conclave Tribunal? So we don't want Legion's Landing to flip. So like I said, we have to kill things. We have options where we could Discovery Dispersal instead. Discovery Dispersal here also gets back the Disinformation Campaign as long as our opponent's empty-handed. I think the right play is the Chupa. It can take out a knight, it can chump block another knight, or it can just stay on the battlefield to trade with a knight after we take 5. That's not that bad. The little beast horror that could. The mighty Chupacabra. And here's a Benelish Marshal, a really good top deck. I have no blocks for you. So, we still have the Dispersal option, but I still don't want this landing to flip, so I'm thinking removals, and I'm going to do a Discovery Dispersal. Try to hit more land. It would be nice to use the Vraska's Contempt this turn instead of the Cast Down, but when you see another Cast Down and another Doom Whisperer, I don't think I can toss those. You know, I can toss another Doom Whisperer. I don't need that many, but I'm not tossing the Cast Down. And because they could use it for Convoke or some shenanigans, I'll probably just use this now. I don't know exactly the scenario I'm worried about. I just know I'm being careful. And in Arena, yeah, so make a stand if you absolutely needed to know a reason. Like, I kind of create these shortcuts of when I'm just going to play things out and not worry about that kind of thing. And that's one of them. I do things instance at sorcery speed when there's just some little reason, and I don't overly think about it. I don't always come up with the exact reason. And sometimes that does lead me to doing things in a silly way. But most of the time, just playing around that one-of that people throw in their collections because you never know what you're dealing with in Arena, it's helped me more than it's hurt me. Here's Loxodon. Okay, that is something we can Dispersal now for 5 mana. And I think that's a pretty good use of a Dispersal. Let's think. We can also Contempt and Cast Down here, and that leaves us pretty far ahead with only a Healer's Hawk to worry about. Yeah, we can always Dispersal later if we really, really want to. Alright, I will cast down your Venerated Loxodon, and I will attack with my Chupacabra, and I will Vraska's Contempt something most likely, but we may as well leave this back because the Hawk counter races it, and the Hawk is the last thing. The very, 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 very last thing I want to be Contempting. I'd rather hit the Knight. Our opponent found something. Is it a Tribunal? Another Tribunal? Okay, they drew a good one. Yeah, yep, grab that. Good choice. So, now I'm thinking I should hit the Hawk, because I can chump with Chupa and get it back with Folly at some point. Whereas I can't block the Hawk anytime soon. Alright. That attack was a bit greedy. In hindsight, I'd take it back. Top deck in that Conclave, though. It's about the best they could ask for in the spot. Ooh, Eldest Reborn off the top. Let's get it cooking. We can get back a number of toys from them. Probably a Benelish Marshal or a Loxodon, but a Doom Whisperer from us is probably the best. And I can't think of a hasty threat they'll play, so this Chupa attack is not greedy. This one is correct. And the opponent's not going to see any more out of this one. Our hand has Thought Erasure, Discovery, and Ritual Soot. A little bit of something for everyone. The only thing that would make me happier is seeing a Disinformation Campaign. But yeah, if I can start with like Discovery, Thought Erasure, the right lands, and a Ritual Soot all the time, I will. A Boros Guildgate. What you got cooking? Let's have a look. Adanto Vanguard, Martyr of Dusk, History of Benalia, Sunhome Stalwart. We have Vraska's Contempt for the Adanto Vanguard. We have Ritual Soot that hits like everything else though. I think taking out the Vanguard, which is the quickest clock, is the right play. It's also possible I should take the Benalia for the values, but since I can clean up... Ooh, I'll keep you. You gotta love Doom Whisperer, right? Dispersal can probably find me a land easy enough. We run 26 of them because the deck needs to get to land drop 5 all the time. Well, Discovery first in case we hit a Watery Grave that would enter the battlefield tapped, or a Memorial to Folly. Okay. Another Doom Whisperer is fine. Here comes the Stalwart. Probably a History of Benalia following it right up. Alright. Now I could Ritual of Soot now to slow them down and then have the plan be Doom Whisperer, Contempt later. I actually like Contempt here better, I think. Yeah, I'll just Contempt the best thing they have at the end of their turn and save the Ritual of Soot till later after they're done trying to get around the Doom Whisperers. I may take a lot of damage doing it, but we haven't seen any burn. And Heroic Reinforcements. They're trying to punish me. They are punishing me. Let's get rid of this. Gain back some life. And now I guess I'm definitely going to Ritual of Soot. It's possible I should have taken the damage and held on to the Contempt, but I don't want to be that low on life. No thank you. Alright, we took out their stuff. We're doing okay. Martyr of Dusk is back. Healer's Hawk is back. Golden Demise off the top is probably good. I think we can afford to get out a Doom Whisperer first. And we'll see, as a Conclave Tribunal, what's off the top? Okay. Here we go again. Never don't have it. Now let's see if they have another, I suppose. Although, is Heroic lethal from here? I can block this one and take 6. It wouldn't be lethal. Really close. Doom Part 2. No attack this time. Let me see what I can do. Hiya! And then I will Golden Demise these little dorks. Leave you with a 1/1 lifelinker. In that turn. And try not to flood. It's probably about time to whisper, even at the cost of life. It stinks when you're this low, but you gotta stay in the game. And if we just draw lands, we are not staying in the game. All right, Golden Demise. That will really help. That Discovery Dispersal might also really help getting back our Doom Whisperer at some point. Let's attack first. Don't quite have a City's Blessing just yet. And again, Heroic is lethal. It's always lethal. So let's see if they can top deck it. No, and they don't stick around to see if they can top deck it. Interesting. Well, if we got our aggro matchup, we're golden. See what I did there? Bad jokes. Holler off in chat if you're here for bad jokes. All right, opponent's gonna go 6. Let's see if they like it. They're tanking, they're thinking about it, and they scry to the bottom. All right, game on. Plains off the top. Will it be another aggressive white deck? Let's discover. We don't really know a lot about what's going on, but I do know I want to hit more powerful cards and not cards this redundant. Like our third Golden Demise, probably not. Another land, I'm sure we can find more of that along the way. Cards I'd keep include like Thought Erasure. And our opponent's gonna go Dusk Legion Zealot. So vampires? It's been a minute since I played the vampire tribe. I'm going to try again. Let's find a Disinformation Campaign. A Thought Erasure, that could be good. Other than that, 5 lands are available to me now. Probably enough. And we'll drop another Memorial to Folly because it comes in tap no matter what. Drowned Catacomb, not necessarily. So, what is it going to be? Yes, an Adanto Vanguard. Exactly what I hoped for. I think there's a case for Thought Erasing this turn, and trying to see if my opponent will play out even more creatures into the Demise. And yeah, we're taking that Champion of Dusk. That's the reload we don't want to see. We do not want our opponent reloading their hand with Champion of Dusk. Now, there is a problem if they play both Legion Lieutenants. And they do. That is gutsy. That is really gutsy. All right. Well, we drew the land. We got lucky. That means next turn we can double Demise if we live. So to make sure that we live, we're going to play an Eldest Reborn and make our opponent sacrifice something. Pretty sure Dusk Legion Zealot has to go. And we'll see if our opponent can draw one more Anthem. Just rip it off the top. Just be the greatest. Twilight Prophet, okay. That's more for the fodder. And that's a good one to get with Eldest Reborn. Something with Convoke here? Wow. I'm kind of stunned with the amount of damage that could have been dealt to me there. Okay, let's hang in here. Golden Demise. The opponent's like, yeah, no problem. Read the cards. I'm like, Golden Demise. They're like, oh, that's how that works. So all the creatures die because the lords were keeping the Twilight Prophet alive. Oh, wow, another Vanguard off the top, but we match it. We match it by ripping a Vraska's Contempt. Let's see if the opponent draws and plays something here. I'm not sure what would change the play of the Contempt on the thing that needs to be exiled. But you never know. Legion's Landing. Okay. So we've got a 1/1 to deal with. Let's play a Disinformation Campaign and start seeing more cards. We're gonna need them. Ritual of Soot? Sure. We could pay 2 life and Erasure to get this back now. I don't think it's worth it. Not when we're facing down little dorks. Every life point could matter. And the draw is a Swamp. And our opponent did hold a card. Let's see what it is. Show me what you're working with. Yep. but at least we get to surveil this to the graveyard and draw another card with Campaign and take out the card in hand with the Campaign. And finally, a Doom Whisperer. Let's get ready to rumble. Mr. Tickles making another appearance. And they are holding a card. Could be a removal. We don't have... yes, we can Doom Whisperer, Surveil, and Campaign. It's a little dicey. Going down to 4 is a bit scary, but I'm going to do it. The Discovery Dispersals are excellent. We might be able to get rid of that Conclave Tribunal, and it keeps the engine running. The Disinfo engine will storm on. And the opponent didn't learn their lesson with the last land. They held it again. You might want those lands someday. You never know what for, but like when you're running a Champion of Dusk, say you play it, draw 2 cards, you might want to also play the cards you draw. They might also be trying to protect their Tribunal against a Discovery Dispersal. Fair enough. All right. How to destroy you. I think we just want to do the Chupa and not have this token kind of looming over there if they find a way to pump it or take advantage of it being on the field. I'm also going to attack. Might be a mistake. There could be Seal Away, Settle, but you can't really play around it in this build of the deck. Now I'm going to use Discovery to get back a Campaign. And drawing the land, which I don't think I played this turn, and a Thought Erasure, which probably isn't good, but does keep the Campaign going, I think is fine. The only thing I think I would like the most is Vraska's Contempt, but I'm not going to dig through my whole deck for that. Wow, so, yep, they drew a lot of land after a really hot opening. And now they draw a Legion Lieutenant, and now they're empty-handed. Okay. So what we do is their most expensive card is the Conclave Tribunal. So we are going to use Dispersal to bounce their Conclave Tribunal and make them discard it. We'll get back Eldest Reborn. They will have to sacrifice their Lieutenant, and we will apply the beats. I hope that you enjoyed the games with 7-win Dimir. It is definitely specifically built for a certain meta. It is pretty good against the white decks and okay at grinding against Golgari, and you saw it gives the Doom Whisperers and the Eldest Reborns give Drakes a lot of trouble too. If you expect more red, you probably need Moment of Craving, not Cast Down. And if you just want to play a more controlling game, remember to get those Sinister Sabotages in the deck and fix the mana base so that it has more blue sources. But I hope that you try it. I do very much enjoy Dimir, and I hope that the Dimir guild in general gets a little better with the help of the new lands and new cards coming out. Even though Dimir isn't featured, getting to team up with Azorius and do Esper might help them out a bit, as I think that they're the most they're the punching bag of the guilds of the current Ravnica. So I look forward to seeing where they go from here. And as always, they're one of my favorites. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. My YouTube channel is proudly supported by HauntedFlower.com, shipping officially licensed apparel anywhere in the world, and now featuring Magic the Gathering apparel and accessories. If you use the promo code CGB at your checkout, you can save 10% on any order. That's the promo code CGB at checkout on HauntedFlower.com. That's HauntedFlower.com.